If you want to check out different content from myself, I've just set up a second channel where I'm going to post fitness and things. The link for that will be in the description. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another episode of the Norwich City career mode. I don't know how many games we got here, maybe 4. Everton first up, did say in the last episode. Ferreira starts up top. Barnatea having a little bit of a break. The Everton lineup looks strong. A player that I didn't actually mention during the transfer window, I'd say I tried to sign. I inquired about Richarlison. I knew I probably wouldn't be able to afford it. We had around 40 million. Cyprian's not playing in this game, so Kubo had to take the free kick, and that's probably the last time he will take a free kick because that was never going in, even though Pickford had to tip it over. It's because Pickford doesn't have any arms, so it is what it is. Gilmour comes close here, playing instead of Cyprian. What I should have done was look for maybe a free kick taker during the window, because Cyprian's free kicks are only like 81. Maybe we should train a free kick taker. Jonathan David with an absolute glorious goal there. What a turn and pass from, I think it was Barnatea in the end. He came on as a sub. Maybe. It might not have been him, actually. Maybe I should have gone back and had a look to see who it was. No, it was Barnatea because he's on there. He's a really good facilitator. Like, his passing isn't particularly great, and he nearly scores an unbelievable goal there. But, yeah, his passing isn't fantastic, but he managed to do a very nice reverse ball, and Jonathan David's finish was superb. As I was saying at the beginning, I inquired about Richarlison. They wanted about 64. I think I probably could have got it down to about 59. We had around 40. I wouldn't have been able to pay the wage, but it is what it is. It turns out we're not really that desperate for someone like Richarlison right now because we are marching on. In the last episode, of course, it was a very disappointing 2 games, both 0-0 against Watford and Man United. Spoiler alert if you haven't checked it out. But still, not the best of games, but we didn't concede, which is something to take from it. Team going into a Carabao Cup game, we've got our 2 new signings on there, Bella Kotchap and Chevalier in goal. Simicon obviously remains. McCallum had a go at left back, and a couple of other substitutions and sort of rotation players coming in. I have no idea whether that's the strongest Luton team possible. I would imagine it would be. I know Collins is their first team striker, so I would assume that that's the first team for Luton. I kind of thought Luton, there's a T there, right? So anyway, I kind of thought this would be a straightforward game. It was, in the sense of we had possession a lot. We didn't really struggle to get the ball when Luton had the ball. I keep saying Luton, it's Luton. I appreciate that, I'm sorry. I have a blind spot when it comes to T's, apparently. We were lucky not to concede on maybe 2 or 3 occasions. I kind of switched off halfway through the game thinking this was going to be a bit of an easy time for us because we had an awful lot of the ball, and like I said, even when we lost the ball, it wasn't that difficult to get it back again. Gilmour scores a legit goal, 58th minute. Kind of thought for a second that there would be something wrong with it. Referee maybe pull it back for a foul or offside or something, but no, it did go in. It counted. We went 1-0 up. From there on, we just probed a little bit, knocking it around. Greenwood got in. Great ball to Cantwell, who misses an absolute sitter. And Cantwell is on his last legs at the club. I don't know if he'll... I mean, I thought we conceded there, and that would have obviously pushed it into penalties, but I can't see him lasting much more than January. Maybe he'll go in January. If not, he'll definitely go in the summer. Buendia is actually a really nice rotation player right now. He's 80 rated. He's happy enough to sit on the bench and get game time whenever we can give him game time. And he's playing... He plays every game, but off the bench more than anything else. And he'll play in all the cup games, so I'm sure you'll be happy for the time being with that. Cantwell, unfortunately, doesn't really get that much game time. This was a very tricky game. The camera angle hasn't changed, by the way. It's just that the West Ham stadium is so big, as in the stadium from the pitch is so... Like the gap, the space is so big, that the camera angle looks like I'm on co-op. I dread to think what this would look like if we actually had it on co-op. I feel like I'd be in the clouds. But we managed to score. Kubo gets on the score sheet, makes it 1-0. Ball comes back out to him here. Left-footed effort. Great save from Fabianski. And he tips it over for a corner. Cyprian free kick. First one in a long time. First one of the season. Fabianski makes a great save. It's what happens when you take free kicks against decent goalkeepers. They do tend to make the saves. We need to get a better free kick taker. Kubo goes down that right-hand side, plays a good ball into Cyprian, who, I mean, he just beat the defender with ease. It was like he wasn't even there. It was a good goal, 2-0. We were under the cosh for most of it as well. West Ham dominated possession in this game, as you would expect from the home side. They've strengthened really well as well. Haller getting a very good goal. Decor obviously coming in from Watford. They've got a couple of other good players. Of course, Felipe Anderson's still there. He's a good player. Crescito, the Italian, now left back. Lanzini's still there. And Simakan has made the challenge of the season. And I know we're only like 7 games in or something, but that was unbelievably good tackle. I am so proud of him for doing that. We did pick up an injury. It was in training. It was nothing that I did, but Baranatea has picked up a bad injury as well. Actually, a broken metatarsal, so he will be out for at least 5 weeks, probably closer to 6 or 7 with recovery as well. Fortunately, we do have good strikers, or rather we have backup strikers. We have Newcastle next. If you remember last season, if you don't, I'll jog your memory. We beat them 1-0 and then we drew, I believe. I think I might be wrong in saying. I know we beat them 1-0 in the very first game that we played them, but I've got a funny feeling we actually beat them in the second game, and it was maybe 2-0. Either way, I'm going to say that we struggled both games, which we did. In this one, it wasn't really as much of a struggle. They were woeful defensively, absolutely shocking. They were good in the midfield, but defensively, I don't know what they were doing. Somehow we didn't quite get that in. Jonathan David does well there, but then shanks his shot and it doesn't really go anywhere near the goal. 15 minutes in, we are having an awful lot of the ball. And at this point, I was just thinking it's a matter of time. I got a problem with T's. I just said matter rather than matter. I don't know what's going on. Need to go back to school and learn how to speak English. Not that I learned it in school because I went to a Welsh school, but still. Barco puts that ball wide. And we are probing and probing and probing. Cyprian goes down that right-hand side, gets down to the byline, plays it across, and the header. I thought that might have been a penalty for a second. It would definitely have been soft for sure, but I thought for a second it might have been. Lewis plays a great ball into Barco. He looks for the drag back, waits for it, and then goes for goal instead because, unfortunately, the striker had wandered into a territory where defenders were sort of prowling. We were getting closer until finally Barco on the hour mark turns his man and puts it in. And that's what I kind of mean by woeful defensively. They just weren't very good. It was time and time again we were getting in. It was just a case of when we were going to score and who the goal scorer was going to be. And then the floodgates open. Ferreira gets in this time, makes it 2-0. That seals the points. And from there on, it was just cruising. We were on easy street. Can we get a third is basically what I was saying. This could be one of our biggest victories of the season. Ball played into Jonathan David, who, I mean, that's a great save from what I assume is Dubravka. Didn't have a look at the goalkeeper at the beginning. I would assume Dubravka is still the goalkeeper. It was a great save. We approach the end of the game here. Greenwood comes on. Barco gets into a good position. Plays it back to Buendia, who feeds the ball through to Greenwood, who turns his man, shoots, bit of lag. I do apologise, and scores. And it's a comfortable, very comfortable game. And we chalk up another 3 points. We march on. Can you believe the difference this season to last season? You know, last season we drew a lot of games, but we lost a lot of games like by a margin of maybe 1 goal. This season, we're not conceding that many. We're scoring a lot more. Okay, fair enough. We had 2 0-0s in the last episode, but we are doing much better this season, and I think we could be in a position to challenge top 5. I know that maybe sounds a little bit stupid, and in real life it would be very unrealistic, but this is career mode at the end of the day, and things are a little bit different here. So I feel like we're good enough for top 5. We still have nearly 20 million to spend, so if we do feel the need to strengthen in the January window, maybe we could off Cantwell for 10-15 million, add that to the value of the goods in our trolley, and go and buy someone bigger and better to maybe replace someone who's not quite living up to expectations in the team. So far, so good, though. I'm happy with everyone. Everyone's performing really well. Everyone's scoring goals. And I look forward to the next episode. Hopefully you do as well. If you enjoyed this one, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.